Good morning, children. Today we are going to continue this chapter, Should Wizard Hit Mummy, written by very popular American writer John Updike. Today we are going to study the characters in this story. We'll also deeply study the character sketches of the important characters of this chapter, Should Wizard Hit Mummy. Then we'll take up the glossary, the vocabulary that we come across in this lesson. We'll study some of the words in order to become familiar with their meanings. And at the end, we are going to analyze this chapter, Should Wizard Hit Mummy? Jack is the protagonist of the story. He's a married man. His wife Claire is pregnant and they have a 4-year-old daughter Jo and a 2-year-old son Bobby. Jo or Joan, she's Jack and Claire's 4-year-old daughter. She's a growing girl. As she's growing, she has begun to contradict things. She has begun to question. So Jack is the most important character who is narrating the stories to his daughter Joan. So here the whole story is revolving around Jack and Jo. Now Roger Skunk is the character that appears in the story that is narrated by Jack. Now he is bullied for his foul skunk smell. He wants nothing more than to play with other animals. But when they smell him, they run away from him. The most important characters here are Jack and Jo. Character sketch of Jack. Jack is the father of Jo. Jack, like any loving father, tells stories to his daughter Jo every day to put her to sleep. So it's a bedtime. Whenever it's a bedtime, he tells stories to his daughter. As he's not very creative and imaginative, he keeps one basic storyline. While telling the story, he tries to dramatize and modulates his voice to bring the effect. He himself didn't have a very happy childhood. At times, his own childhood experiences, complexes, miseries, and humiliations are brought out in his stories. He is a very caring husband who shares the household work with his wife. At the same time, he seems to be a chauvinist who doesn't want to be taken for granted by women and doesn't want to bow even before his small daughter. When the story fails to convince his daughter, he uses coercive methods to stick to his point of view. He is not able to understand a child's psychology and exposes the child to the harsh realities of the world at a tender age. Let us study the character sketch of Joan, who is the daughter. Joan or Jo is smart, pampered, loved, but sensitive child. Like any other child of 4 years, she is fond of stories. She is innocent and loves happy ending stories. She lives in an imaginative world of fairies, magic wands, miracles, etc., and is not prepared for any harsh reality of life. She feels pain for Roger Skunk when he is rejected by his friends. Fun, games, and peer appreciation mean much to her. She is very logical and argumentative. She has her own mind and cannot accept that mothers can be so cruel as to hurt their children. When she is not able to persuade him to change the ending of the story, she urges her father to tell her another story. Joe, like a young smart kid, is full of questions. She's learning new things every day in the school and is very inquisitive. It gives her maturity. She is brave enough not to accept something that she doesn't believe in. Now let us discuss the words that we come across in this story. Glossary. Nap, short sleep, afternoon siesta, it can be a nap, rite, rituals, an act. So last rites of a person, the ritual that is performed after the death. So rite is a ritual and act. Stirred, inspired, moved, stirred. Fatiguing, fatigue, you are familiar with the word fatigue. You're tired, exhausted. It's a fatigue. So fatiguing is tiring. Probably the ritual of storytelling, it was becoming fatiguing. Futile, it was turning out to be useless effort, pointless effort, futile, tugging, pulling hard, or suddenly, tug. Scraped, you move something very big thing, maybe like a phrase, moved a sharp and hard object across a surface, and then scraping sound that could create scraped, moved, sly, cunning. Swamp, an area of land that is full of water. So, swamp, marshy area, swamp, relapsed, slid back, curtly, abruptly, suddenly, rapped, hit hard, rapping, hitting hard several times, scrunching, crumpling, crushing, collapsing on the ground, scrunching. Rumi, eyes becoming watery, water discharged from eyes, nose. So Rumi, watery, smugly, comfortably. So feeling pleased or satisfied, feeling very comfortable, whining, complaining, making a prolonged sound, resembling a high-pitched cry, crying, complaining, whining, rummaging, turning over things and make them untidy. So searching, rummaging means searching and making the things untidy. So searching untidily. So searching the things and throwing the things here and there. That's a rummaging. Trance, dates. So suddenly somebody makes you unconscious of the things. You are not aware of the things around. You are dazed. So when somebody carries out hypnotic effect on someone, he is in a trance. So he is not in control of himself. So somebody controls him. He is in trance. So he is not in control of himself. Daze. So that's what is trance. Gingerly, in a careful way, spank, hit several times. So hitting, spanking, startled, surprised, smock, loose garment, worn in the house, feigning, pretending, rumbled, made deep sound, apprehensive. You are apprehensive of something. You worry about something, worried or frightened that something unpleasant may happen. Skittered off, moved very quickly, dabbling, moving. Apprehension and I have apprehensions. I got fears of something. Apprehensive, worried, frightened. Let's analyze this story should visit it mommy. This lesson poses an ethical question, a moral question. It is not a question who is right or wrong, whether father is right or daughter is right, but the kind of moral question which the daughter has raised that has disturbed father. Should wizard hit mommy is a remarkably complex story that in no way appears to be so. It doesn't appear as if it's a complex story, but it's a remarkably complex story because the kind of question that it raises. In fact, the story seems quite simple. A father narrating bedtime story to daughter. Father has a formula of a story and with slight variation every time he goes on telling the story. But here, the story which he has told that has really disturbed the child as well as father. A father making up a bedtime story for his daughter conjures up memories of being bullied as a child, maternal protection, protection of mother, and the reinforcement of traditional values which he is trying to pass along to his daughter, but which seems to be rebelling against in her immature way. So the kind of moral that he wants to convey, the kind of ethical values he wants to imbibe in his daughter, probably is not able to do that. And here the girl appears to be in revolt. She is rebelling against those thoughts which father wants to convey. That is certainly one way of interpreting the story. And so it has been interpreted by many. So it has been interpreted in different ways. So lot of scope is there for your interpretation of this story too. So it's an open-ended story. And we also think whether father is right or daughter is right. Proof of the complexity of the story is that it has also been interpreted in distinctly different ways. Some people view Jack's bedtime tale as evidence of his veneration of his role of motherhood, kind of respect for the role of mother. Mommy skunk is right to do what she does because she's a mother. And mothers know what is best for their kids. They are all aware what is good for their children. Others read into Jack's story a man in the throes of deep psychological denial. Mommy skunk bullies her son into going back to smelling like a skunk because Jack's own mother bullied him when he was a child. She used to threaten him. Probably he remembers his own experience, the kind of suffering he had. So does Jack hold motherhood in such a high esteem because he truly believes they know what is right for their children, or because he was bullied into accepting that they always know what is right. So mothers are always right, and this is what he wanted his daughter to know that. But daughter was not ready to accept it, and that's the reason lot of argument takes place. The story appears to be quite simple. As we go on progressing in the story, then when the ethical question comes up, then the complexity appears. The complexity continues. Does Jack love his bedtime story ritual with his daughter, or does he feel trapped by it? And he feels trapped. Earlier it was a ritual. Earlier he used to enjoy it because she was very obedient. She used to listen. But now she was questioning every time, and that's why this ritual was no more enjoyable for him. The final image of Jack looking at the four walls of the room his wife has been painting leaves no doubt that Jack feels like a prisoner in his home. He feels trapped. He wants to go down and help his wife, but he is not able to do that because daughter is not getting the sleep. And she is questioning again and again. Some critics have paired this imagery with that of Jack's fidgety behavior while telling the story of Roger Skunk as evidence that he has grown bored with his responsibility. No more enjoying telling the story to his daughter because daughter is no more listening quietly. She is questioning whenever he finds some way missing. His lapse of saying Roger Fish once is often offered as proof of his distraction and alienation from the task. So he's not able to concentrate on storytelling. And when he gets distracted, if he commits a mistake, immediately she is pointing out. She's a grown up now, she's 4 years old now. And she sometimes feels alienated from his task because he thinks of something else all of a sudden. And yet, it is the daughter who seems bored while Jack actually prolongs the story. And when he's prolonging because she's not getting sleep, then we feel that the daughter is getting bored and reinforces the fact that he's telling the story. So it's turning out to be only a ritual. Throughout, he is constantly presented as being torn between his duties to tell the story and his duty towards his wife, who is a pregnant and who is painting the downstairs room. At every juncture until the story is concluded, however, he always chooses to stay and never makes a serious move to fulfill his husbandly role. Is Jack really feeling trapped into the fatherly ritual? He has to tell the story. Wife is pregnant. She is not able to pay attention, and he is telling the bedtime story. And this ritual is turning out to be futile because his daughter is not getting the sleep. Or is he desperately clinging to it because he knows he has only got a year or two before his daughter is reaching for the golden book that slips from the bed rather than letting it fall. The title of this story is very significant. Should wizard hit mummy? The title of the story is a question presenting an oppositional choice. And who should hit whom? Whether wizard should hit mummy or mummy should hit wizard? That is the question. Should the wizard hit mummy skunk with his wand or should he not? The motherhood, the kind of reverence that is there for motherhood. And the narrator is faced with that particular question. For his daughter, it's a friend who is very, very important. Authors generally do not choose such a question as a title if it can be easily answered. The answer way easy, if the answer were easy, a much better title would be Why the Wizard Should Eat Mummy, or the obvious alternative. But Updike leaves the title an open question with only two rational answers offered as possibilities. This either or approach informs the entire narrative. For every assertion offered, the opposite is likely equally appropriate. Jack's story could be all about a mummy coming to the rescue of a bullied son because she knows what is right. Or it could be a story about a mummy bullying a son without really caring about his happiness. Jack could be a traditional raised man's man who decides to reverse course in his story when he realizes that a boy skunk smelling like roses is kind of ugly. Or he could be a sensitive young man in conflict rebellion about having his views toward traditional gender roles inflicted upon him. That Jack remains upstairs telling a story to his daughter while his wife, wearing one of his shirts over pregnancy smock, is downstairs. Doing the maid's work of painting a room is highly suggestive of a theme about gender roles driving the story. But like everything else, the details remain ambiguous. The interpretation that Jack embraces a conservative ideology is neither more nor less convincing than that is a liberal in denial. Though the story is quite complex and at the beginning it appears quite simple, the story is quite interesting. It raises ethical question, and because of that ethical question, the story becomes very interesting. It's the perspective of the adult is right or the worldview of the child is right. That is open-ended question.